As a condor, so why not be catchy? It's a more fun phrase to say than cafeteria. This is called quick service. So somebody would come in, you order your food, and you get out. That is the whole concept behind it. There's restaurants where people come in and they sit down and they eat and they leave within an hour. There's fine dining establishments which take 2 to 3 hours to eat at. There are newest craze right now is the wagons, the cars. What are those called? Food trucks. Everybody wants to do a food truck. So, yeah. This is our front of the house. So, you have what's called the front of the house, which is where your customers are. You have your service line where we service online. And then in the back is our kitchen. This is a huge facility as food service establishments go. Most kitchens are about as big as just this little grill area over here. And they service a lot of people. Typically, you want to have most of your restaurant to be seating for customers, so you don't want to have a huge kitchen. But for us, because we are a culinary school and we're a cafeteria that services a lot of people, we have a very large facility. So that is our establishment. We can go into the back. You guys can ask me questions about equipment. I don't really know what you guys all want to tour of.
So any students here in the future want to start a restaurant, what are we looking at in terms of equipment pricing here? What is this?
So this is Vulcan. Vulcan is a very good brand name to get. This piece of machine is actually over 25 years old. It came from Ventura College. Called Ventura College. This is one of the probably not too much into their lifespan there. When Ventura College's cafe closed, we went in there and we took their equipment. And we got this big boy out of it. It actually is the oldest piece of equipment we have in our facility, and it's my favorite. When you use a piece of equipment for a long period of time, it ages really well. It cooks things very evenly. The new age ovens are meant to cook things very fast, and sometimes very fast doesn't necessarily mean very good. So when we cook baking goods, so brownies and cookies and cakes and breads, this oven is amazing for that type of stuff. When we cook like chicken and that kind of stuff, it can go either way. We can get this kind of one or not. But getting a brand new stack oven like this can cost anywhere between $8,000 and $12,000 depending on the manufacturer that you want to get. Just a stovetop here. So we have a 6-burner stovetop. This is what's called a convection oven. So it cooks things faster with a fan inside of it. And then down here is a conventional oven. So this would be very traditional to what you have in your house. So something like this, you're looking at $5,000 or $6,000. A lot of our equipment is very expensive. We have a piece of machinery back there. It's called a blast chiller. I'll show it to you. Its only job is literally to cool food down fast, so that when it's at a very high temperature, it cools down so we can put it in our fridge so we don't get people sick. It costs us $16,000 to cool food. That's literally all it does. It's a refrigerator. So food service equipment is very expensive. However, some benefits in food service is all of the equipment that you guys see over there, the beverage area, as long as we order from Coca-Cola, they will give us that machine for free. So, and then what we do is we just order product from them. And then they'll come out and they'll service it for free. Anytime you can go ahead and get a piece of equipment in your establishment for free, and all you have to do is order the item from them, and it's an item you want to have, totally do it. You can put in your expenses for the month. You can put in, I'm gonna always order X amount of Coca-Cola. Okay, I know I'm always gonna spend $200 a month on Coca-Cola. What happens when the Coca-Cola machine breaks? Now I have to bring in a service person, and minimum they're gonna charge you $75 for their service to come out. Now this new thing that they've added on is I'm gonna charge you a travel rate. So then in addition to the $75 an hour, then they're charging me $40 just for coming out. They haven't even looked at my equipment yet. So I have this new fee. Now they're gonna look at my equipment and they're gonna say, oh, well, you know, your motor's out, it's gonna cost you parts and labor. Get $500 later that I was not expecting to fix the Coca-Cola machine. However, I have a lease with Coca-Cola and I only pay $200 a month no matter what happens, or, you know, give or take depending on how much liquid I have to bring in. But I don't ever have to worry about that machine. I call them up and within 24 hours they are here fixing it. The same with my soda machine and my cappuccino machine, not soda, my coffee and cappuccino machine. As long as I order their brand of product, the company that I order from will come out and service that at any point in time whenever I need them to. So if you can lease a piece of equipment, or they will go ahead and give it to you for free, I totally recommend it. Yeah.
Do you ask for that, or do they just automatically
Most,
tell you about it?
I guess I kind of have been around the business enough to know that that was going to happen, but mostly Pepsi and Coke, if you're going to ask for them to come in, they'll go ahead and they'll put it in for you for free.
Well, part of the reason is they want to keep you as a
They want to keep
customer.
your business, yeah. For the, when this building was built, they didn't advise, like, go and ask anybody that was in our culinary department, and they actually bought a Coca-Cola machine. And they bought a cappuccino machine, and so they spent about $10,000 on that beverage bar of equipment that we just didn't need because we were going to get it from another company. So I guess that being in the business, I kind of knew that I had to do it because the people that built this building had no idea, and they just wasted a whole bunch of money. And I got them out. As soon as they were in here, I took them out, and I got in another company to put in their equipment because I don't want to have to pay for somebody to come out and fix it if it breaks, because I don't have that within our budget. We don't want to have to pay for those kinds of things. So anytime you get a company, Otis Spunkmeyer, you guys familiar with their cookies? Otis Spunkmeyer, they have their own specialty oven that if you decide you're going to sell Otis Spunkmeyer cookies, they'll be like, do you want our oven? And the reason they want to give you their oven is a tilt skillet. This is about a $15,000 piece of equipment. You're in the military, you have to cook a soup for 150 people. Instead of using a pot, you use this bad boy. And it's called a tilt skillet because you turn it on and it'll tilt for you so you can get everything out of it when you guys want to get everything out of it. Again, this is about $15,000 piece of equipment. This right here, so the Bentley of ovens is called a Rationale. They are all over the country. Casinos particularly use them. I don't know if you guys know anything about casinos, but you go into a casino, you spend a lot of money, they want to give you free food because they want to keep you there. Well, in casinos, they don't want to build a big extravagant kitchen. So Rationale came up with these ovens that you can practically cook anything inside of them. They came up with specialty pans, and you can cook bacon and eggs in like a matter of minutes inside of them. Tater tots come out better cooked in the oven than they do fried. But Rationale is basically cornering the market. So all you have to do in your kitchen is buy this oven, and you don't have to buy a stove anymore. They're taking stoves out of kitchens, which means as long as I have this piece of equipment, I'm good. This little itty bitty oven, like literally, like I can't even fit this in here. This is your typical pan that you cook everything on. I can't even fit it in here. I have to use half the version of it. $15,000. Now this guy, this is an Alto Sham. Don't ever buy Alto Sham anything. Awful.
Don't buy what?
Alto Sham brand. Alto Sham is like, I don't know what a really bad car is. It's awful. It breaks all the time. It was about 3/4 of the price of the Rationale, but as you can see, it was bigger. So both of these ovens together, it was about $25,000 to get both of these. It claims to do what this guy does. Doesn't do anything. It said, oh, we'll overnight roast food for you. So if you wanted to have a very inexpensive piece of meat, but you wanted to make it very tender, you put it in this oven for 12 hours and it comes out really tender. No, they lied. I wish we could get our money back on that one. But equipment, as you can see, is very expensive. So when you are going to open up your establishment, try to do two things. Try to get your vendor to provide them for you, or go to Craigslist. We buy everything brand new because we are educational. We want to get the best product that we can absolutely get. But if you can save $1 by going on Craigslist, a really good place to buy is to find a place where schools get rid of their stuff and go to there. It's called like usually like surplus type of stuff. You can go to there and they'll totally get a cheap rate because like I said, schools buy the best equipment they can, but then that program gets phased out and you can go ahead and get really good equipment at a really cheap price. Do you guys have any questions about what you guys see in here, those kind of things? That is a ginormous mixer. That is for a 60-quart bowl or a 40-quart bowl. We can make in this mixing bowl a 2-ounce roll. I think we said that we could make like 250 of them at one time. So enough dough for 250 of them inside of this big industrial one. It's so big and heavy that we actually had to have it bolted to the floor because when it's mixing, if it's not bolted to the floor, it shakes because it's so big. But we have little ones, like if you guys seen little KitchenAid 5-quart mixers, we have those ones so you can do like a little frosting. But when we do really big batches of rolls or cookies or something, we come and go ahead in this monster. I don't know how much this one particularly costs, but you're looking at probably a solid $15,000 to $20,000 for this monster. I wasn't here when they bought it. Yeah, they're super expensive. So if you want to open a restaurant, get somebody with big pockets because it's expensive. It costs generally between $100,000 and $300,000 to open a restaurant. In the sense of the equipment that you have to buy, the remodeling that you have to do. So it's always recommended to go into a facility that's already a kitchen and have that as your facility. But when you go into a facility that's a kitchen, the rent is always higher than just going into an office building. And it's obviously because there's lots of very fancy equipment. And generally it's gonna cost you about a third more than it would if you were just renting an office building. Anything else, guys? How many spices? These are just your standard spices. There's like hundreds of thousands of different spices. I don't know how many spices, you can count them. There's probably like 50 or 60. That's a question I've never had before, and I'll probably never have the answer for, but feel free to count them. Yeah.
Then she'll have the answer
Sorry.
next time.
There's a lot. Main spices we use are salt and pepper, though. We salt and pepper everything. Anything else?
About how many people do you serve a day?
We are actually a very small facility for what we do. We're only open for 4 hours a day. From 9 to 1, we do a very light breakfast and we do a full service lunch. And we roughly between 100 and 150 people a day.
Now, you have a regular community dinners here.
We do. We have another facility that's another kitchen that we actually have a dining room that's really fancy that's attached to it. We have full service dining. So when you're a 3rd and 4th semester student, you get to learn how to do like filet mignon steaks and osso buco and very fancy type items. And we're only open for 3 hours for that on Thursday nights. And it's open to the public, so if anybody ever wants to get a very fancy 5-course meal for about $25, you can make reservations on our campus and you can come and eat our food. But we only service between 50 and 80 people on that night for those 3 hours.
So tell them how popular you are. It's right now to make a reservation. When is the next opening?
Well, we're actually closed, so, but when we're in full scale, basically we're open for 4 months out of the semester, and if you don't make your reservation by the 1st month of the semester, you're not going to get a reservation because people from all over the county like to book us. We actually have 3 dates where it's already completely booked already because people rented out the facility for their function or what have you. So very popular
I
to
have
do
a
it.
question for this, and it's going to go to our discussion we're going to have tonight. We're going to talk about the cost, the unit cost of a product, and especially as it applies to a food product.
Okay.
So, for instance, using your example of In-N-Out, that cheeseburger,
Okay.
they sell for $2.30.
Okay.
And so, do your students go through a process of they understand how to craft the product, you manufacture the product, but what the students here are also going to learn is what's the true cost of that product versus what the retail is like. So if the In-N-Out is selling a cheeseburger for $2.30, how much is it costing to make? So do you focus on the price breakdown?
We do. Not in my classroom because my classroom is particularly meant to be a lab class, so we're showing you the actual production. But we do have accounting, and we also have another classroom that shows you how to break down prices and everything. And basically in any facility, you want to look at anywhere between a 20 and 30% food cost. So if it costs 30 cents to make a cheeseburger, I have to at least sell it for $1 in order to make my money back. And the reason for that is you have your cost of the building you're renting, you have your cost of the food, you have your cost of your employees, which will cost you about 20% of whatever you are making, it costs you for your employees. And then you have any other additional stuff that would go, electricity, water, all of those different types of things so that you don't necessarily think about. But we say if you're running under a 30% food cost in this industry, you're doing a very, very good job. For like senior centers and that kind of thing, they can do it a little bit higher because they always know how many people they're going to have. They get funding from other things. So if you're getting funded from another department because you are within a different facility, you're not trying to make money, you don't have to have such a low food cost. But you need to make sure that you're only at 30% or lower for our industry. In-N-Out's food cost is probably like 15% because they can go ahead and order such bulk and they have their own manufacturers. They have their own cattle. Like literally they have a farmer and hey, all of these cows, they're now ours. And the farmer's like, heck yeah they are. I just made a lot of money. So they have their own agriculture and that kind of thing. So when you own all of your supplies, obviously you can make things a lot cheaper. So, cool.
We're good.
Awesome. You guys, thank you so much.
Thank you
Go
very
ahead.
much.
Yeah, this is a can opener. This is for giant cans. So, you get your little cans that are this big, These are the types of cans we get.
That's for your big can of menudo.
Oh, it's pozole. It's a pozole.
Dinner pozzoli.
This is called
You
number
should
10
ask her
here.
if she makes pozzoli.
When we make like salsas or we need like tomato paste or something, we open up one of these. What? I don't even know what that is.
Possibly.
Possibly.
I still like it.
Pozole.
Pozole! Yes, we made pozole.
See, it's an insider. It's an insider. Say it with you.
Yes, we do. We make everything from scratch, so when we make it, we will go ahead and get our own fresh bones in, and we will boil them and make our own stock. And we'll go ahead and take our own chickens and debone the chickens and make the stock with the chicken bones and use the chicken meat in order to make the pozole and that type of a thing. So we do everything from scratch pretty much in this kitchen. You do not have to be a student. Anybody can come in anytime we're open. We're an open campus, so people can come in and have lunch anytime they want. I know that you said you want to do a bakery. We actually do a bake sale every Friday when we're in session, and because we have a baking class that goes for 18 weeks, so semester long, 2 days a week. And you come in and you learn how to make cheesecakes. We sell cheesecakes for $5. They basically,
awesome.
it costs us $5 to make the cheesecake. For us, because we're educational, we're not trying to recoup all of our money. We're just trying to show our students how to cook, and we're trying not to lose money. So if it costs us $5 to make the cheesecake, we're gonna sell it for $5. That type of a thing.
What's the best dish you've made?
That we as a department make, or
Yeah,
that I make?
For her personally.
Sergio?
What?
What you mean?
I make the world's best lasagna, hands down.
What day?
Yeah. Everybody that eats it goes, oh damn. Yeah. So I make really good lasagna. I'm very good on the barbecue as well.
Oh.
Yeah. So in this cafe though, honestly, the best thing that we have is a recipe for dinner rolls. Our dinner roll recipe is hands down the best recipe, and we use it to make hamburger buns. And we make our own special sauce, so we have a very good cheeseburger that we sell here. So if you ever are craving a cheeseburger, it's fantastic.
Every day.
Every day of my life, I want a cheeseburger. Pardon? We don't have those I'm sure we have those capabilities. We don't necessarily do that. But you have my business card, you can email me. Hey, are you serving cheeseburgers today? Yeah, come on by. We do it actually on a weekly basis. So we have a special that we serve. It changes every single day. But when we serve our grill, we do it, like we'll do a whole week of cheeseburgers. And then the next week it'll be a whole week of like dollar chicken tacos. And then like a whole week of like a ham and cheese melt or those kind of things. You guys really like pozole, huh?
All right, so let's thank Liz for the tour and the great. Thank you very much. We appreciate
It was my pleasure, guys. I hope you guys have a great night.